howdy. We are Team 2. My name is Robert Reyna, and I'll let everybody else introduce themselves.
Howdy, my name is James Bentley.
Jason Teal.
Sam Welty, and this is Team 2's project, and due to limitations we did some quick snapshots of the financial analysis, but we plan on answering any questions anybody has at the end of the project.
Midway Companies has already broken ground on Century Square, their mixed-use master plan development in College Station, Texas, and is reaching completion of Phase 1. To continue development on the large amount of land acquired by Midway Companies for Century Square, our team has served as a development associate to propose plans for Century Square Phase 2. The 5-acre site, located on the northeast corner of South College Avenue and University Drive, was assessed through physical, market, financial, and risk analysis, which outlined our real estate development strategy. Our strategy considered the College Station market and that which has been proposed for Century Square Phase 1. The resulting proposal for the 5-acre site provided a 3-story, 153,000 square foot mixed-use building with structured parking, an 11,000 square foot outparcel building, and a large park area for public use. Our proposal is based on a 2-year construction period with a 10-year holding period. With considerations to the College Station market and our physical site assessment with proposal, in-depth financial analysis provided a conservative cap rate of 10% with a 21.6 IRR and a 3.29 equity multiple. Results conclude the development strategy satisfies market needs and meets the requirements of Midway Companies for an 18% hurdle rate with an equity multiple of 3.
As is the case in any successful development, the overall strategy for our proposal was to identify the opportunity in the market and incorporate that opportunity into our 5-acre development. The main opportunity in the College Station market is in the office and retail, as the market is underserved. The physical layout of our development was heavily influenced by the amount of parking required per code. The financial hurdles for this project further shaped our proposal. After conducting our research, we used market comparables to set rents and used RS means to find the regional cost averages in order to set our construction costs. The goal was to meet the financial requirements while achieving the highest and best use of the site.
We propose a mixed-use office, retail, and restaurant experience on the far west side of Century Square. On the far east side of the development is 100 Park, which is an upscale apartment living environment for qualified tenants. Once we establish a shopping, dining, and office sector on the opposite side of the residential use, we plan to create synergy amongst the 2 anchors of the site. The main building footprint is just under 51,000 square feet, and there is a flex space out parcel totaling 11,000 square feet. The development goes beyond the regulated setbacks by placing both structures at least 60 feet from the right-of-way, providing open green space for a large amount of streetscape, which will contribute to the look and feel of the project. The open green space will also greatly complement the outdoor patio area provided by the adjacent restaurants that have been strategically placed next to it. There will be 3 levels of rad parking totaling 33,000 square feet centrally located within the main office and retail building. This configuration maximizes efficient use of the site. We arrived at a total of 321 parking spaces, which satisfied recommendations of the ULI mixed-use development parking strategies. Rad parking improved functionality of the site and allowed the main structure to aesthetically blend with the overall feel of Phase 1, using similar materials and design. The L parcel structure will create a focal point for the park and will use similar architectural features used in Phase 1, while also being unique to capture interest into the site. The 1-story L parcel will encourage visitors to travel further into the development by allowing an unobstructed view of Phase 1. In order to find the total cost of constructing our asset, we broke the construction costs into different categories. We first calculated the cost to grade and clear the lot, to prepare the site for substructure services, such as franchise utilities, electricity, gas, and water lines. In order to set the budget for these services, we calculated the linear foot cost for each service to be installed. The water line came out to be the most expensive to serve our property, while the gas lines resulted in being the cheapest per foot. Manholes, drains, and storm inlets were priced at a unit cost with installation. The site work and landscape, such as curbs, gutters, streets, and walkways, was then accounted for. In order to successfully deliver the vertical asset, we considered how much it would cost per square foot to construct each type of use. The Class A office proposal came out to about $11 million, and the retail totaled roughly $8.6 million. Taking into account all the budgets and costs to develop the project, we were able to deliver the asset with our interim construction loan and pay off the principal and interest successfully.
Midway has created a destination in Aggieland where people can come together to live, work, and play, creating a sense of place for all of College Station to enjoy. By combining office, retail, and restaurants together with residential units, we can successfully create value in a single development. College Station is situated within the Texas Triangle that makes up Dallas, Houston, and Austin. Texas legislators are currently in a discussion about developing a high-speed rail, making it easier and efficient hour-long commute between Dallas and Houston. With proper local support, this can shift major real estate investments along the speed rail corridor. The rail is planned to travel through Grimes County, which is directly west of Brazos County. This can potentially make College Station one of the most premier universities to attend, helping students go to class easily by using the bullet train for less than 1 hour and commuting back to their homes in Dallas or Houston that same day. This new development would not only increase the number of students, but the number of businesses who are looking to expand to new markets. The market in College Station is unique compared to larger cities. The city is essentially surrounding the biggest employer in the market, which is Texas A&M University, and relies heavily on this learning institution to bring people from different places in the country and all around the world. Texas A&M anticipates an increased enrollment, which can be seen through the 25 by 25 initiative. The 25 by 25 initiative is to have 25,000 engineering students by the year 2025. This will increase the number of residents, families, and visitors to the city and will result in a higher demand for restaurant and retail spaces. Data concludes that there is more development in the pipeline and preparations need to be made for the increasing population. The population in College Station is generally well educated, with 64% of the residents aged 25 or older having achieved at least an associate's degree, and a third of that percentage having a professional or graduate degree. Unemployment is also known to be well below the state average. The rise in educated residents can bring intellectual capital into the city by investing in offices, spaces for companies to grow their businesses in. The unemployment rate is considered to be steadily decreasing for the past 6 years and is now at 4.2%. Employment in College Station is approximately 125,000 jobs and is projected to maintain its consistent positive increase for the following years to come. From 1990 to our current year, the amount of people becoming employed has more than doubled by 57%. This proves how much growth College Station has seen and will see in the coming future. College Station's per capita income has been positively increasing at a much faster rate relative to Texas and the US. People are slowly starting to earn higher incomes as the years go by, which leads us to believe there are more opportunities where people can spend their money. Phase 2 will complement the needs of Phase 1, which would be an office retail environment and would interact with the social atmosphere brought to us in the first stages of development. Creating different land uses and connecting them through a pedestrian-friendly environment increases the quality of life for everyone.
Delineating the market area provided comparable developments that allowed extraction of real numbers. Similar mixed-use developments in the area, such as Atlas Town Center, Post Oak Mall, the Gateway Development, and University Town Center, provide a rough total of 1.3 million square feet of retail space and average a 10-minute drive time from our site. Retail rental rates in College Station's prime locations average $27 per square foot, according to LoopNet.com. Our rental rates consider these comparables while warranting a premium as a result of location and quality of construction. Considerations of mixed-use student housing local to the site, such as U Center, the Rise, the Gardens, the Stack, and North Point Crossing, showed that average monthly rental rates were approximately $900 a month. Data taken from Esri for these specific areas showed average household incomes to be $28,000 and also evaluated retail, restaurant, and entertainment spending at about $8,000 annually. Results conclude that retail spending makes up about 1/3 of household income of students in the immediate area. Our proposal considered the Avalanche Consulting projection of 500,000 square feet of retail space in College Station for the next 5 years. With this, proposing 63,900 square feet of retail space with a 95% occupancy rate, our proposal will capture 12% of the retail market.
We approached the performer with a conservative mindset. Using RS means enabled us to determine the construction costs for our project and allowed for a 16% regional adjustment. After conducting our research, we were able to set higher rental rates due to the quality of the project, but remained consistent with the rates in the market. We were asked to meet certain financial hurdles with an IRR of 18% and an equity multiple of 3. The net development project costs totaled roughly $27 million, with an equity requirement of $11 million and a debt requirement of $16 million. After completing our financial analysis, our project has an IRR of 21.6% and an equity multiple of 3.29, assuming a 10% capitalization rate. The capital summary allows any viewer to anticipate the initial success of the project. However, the 10-year cash flow is a detailed account of the project over the proposed holding period. Many of the items in the 10-year cash flow are subject to inflation and growth rates, causing an increase in costs and revenue from year to year.
With every real estate development project, there are risks that must be taken into account. The market we are delivering our services to must react to what we are offering. Just because we build the asset doesn't mean that people will automatically come to our project. Through the development process, our team aimed to mitigate risk through our conceptualization, design, delivery, activation plan, and management. However, it is understood that the market will not always react to a product as planned. Outlining risks that could negatively affect our project is important for the asset to sustain. To further assess the risks associated with our project, we conducted a SWOT analysis. According to our research, the biggest strength of our project is its location. The main weakness was determined to be the site's accessibility. Opportunities are presented through close ties to Texas A&M University, and the major threat for the project is the potential dependency on students for revenues. College Station can be viewed as a risky market to enter due to the influx and outflow of residents over a calendar year. Fluctuation in the overall population creates a risk of seasonal spending, which is difficult to analyze and project. The target market in College Station mainly consists of university students whose income is most often low and reliance on their parents' support is a factor. This creates risk because third-party financial assistance is not always reliable. Also, providing a unique project in a market which there are no comparables can add risk in the form of premium rates not being realized. It is vital to the project's success that tenants from both local and non-local businesses are captured. Non-local businesses may want to occupy the spaces we are providing due to the unique value being created here. However, if the Texas Speed Rail does not receive enough social support from residences all along the corridor, then that might drastically decrease the opportunities to expand their businesses here into this area. There are indeed risks with every development, but clearly identifying the various threats to our project, we can thus increase our chances into creating a successful development that can weather in an extremely volatile market. In conclusion, the addition of retail and office space will help satisfy the market's needs. Through our efforts to accurately assessed construction costs and determined rental rates, we have met the financial hurdles outlined in our initial project description.
And now we will open it up for questions. Yes.
How did you determine your exit cap rate?
So to determine the exit cap, upon the market stabilization to find the value of the overall project, they had it at 7 initially, and also with some of the stuff that I've worked on previously during the summer, a lot of the buildings that were going for cap rates closer to 5, in between 5 and 6, were the several out parcel projects with Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A, and that's because they're relatively easier to sell. Since this is such a big project and it's going to take longer for them to sell it at the end of their 10-year holding period, you want to adjust for that difficulty of sale. So that's how we got the 10% cap rate. Any other questions? Yes.
Could y'all talk about kind of like the process of how y'all came to the site design? Like y'all have a lot of green space at that corner. Maybe focus on that. I'm really curious about that.
Yeah. So a large part of our first logic was looking at what else is in the area, specifically the development on the university in Texas, and trying to avoid such a harsh corner that is kind of witnessed there. So our first idea was to really open up the corner and really try to create an activated area by having public space, like a fountain or something like that, to kind of draw people in and kind of use that corner as a gateway to the entire development. So in doing so, we need to kind of push the physical buildings kind of towards the corners, and then to address the parking. It was determined that the parking structure would have been needed, and we determined that the best way to kind of hide it would be to wrap it with function. That way we're not kind of giving a cold shoulder to either the road or to the rest of the development. So we figured that wrapping would have been the best solution. So
we also originally had plans for grocery, and running with the numbers, as grocers usually pay less and require more parking, we found that it wouldn't fit with the numbers and just wouldn't work out. Also, we went through multiple designs once we kind of hammered down the parking regulations. One way, the parking was a big limitation on what we really wanted to do in the area, so we went through 4 or 5 designs for the site itself.
Yeah, it was your classic conceptualization meets delivery.
Yep.
So
Parking's always a problem.
What's the total budgeted cost?
The total budgeted cost was close to 26.
yeah, it was just over 26 million.
Over 26 million. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming.